Hi, and this is Maverick and Dempsey's Rundown. All right, so it's been a little while and a lot's gone on, so we have a lot of topics to cover. All right, first we're going to start out with the NFL draft and hey, look who slid in. We're going to start out with the NFL draft and what happened with the Saints. All right, so let's start with the Saints. The Saints had a disappointing draft. All right. I wasn't happy about it. I think a lot of Saints fans weren't happy. It was an unknown drafted in the first round. I don't think anything was really accomplished. And as this is a rundown, we're not going to focus too much on it. But I don't understand what's going on with the Saints organization on the quarterback front. And I also don't understand. I can appreciate, but don't understand the optimistic look from the Saints fans. You don't go from a Hall of Fame quality quarterback to another Hall of Fame quality quarterback. You don't go from a Super Bowl winning quarterback to another Super Bowl winning quarterback. It just doesn't happen. You know, God doesn't bless you like that. It happened with the 49ers and Steve Young. It happened with the Green Bay Packers and Brett Favre going to Aaron Rodgers. But where else does it happen? You look at other franchises that had that Hall of Fame player. How long did the Steelers struggle after Terry Bradshaw? They really didn't have a named quarterback until Ben Roethlisberger a decade and a half later. You know what happened with the Miami Dolphins? Let's not shake the table. The camera will fall. What happened with the Miami Dolphins after Dan Marino? Oh yeah, they're still looking for a quarterback. You know, maybe it's Tua. It's just been one name after another. Or what about the Buffalo Bills and Jim Kelly? All right, fast forward, 20 plus years later, and now we found a guy. So it just doesn't happen, And the New York Giants are struggling right now with that after Eli Manning. And you look at the Saints, and the Saints had Drew Brees. The Saints had a legit future Hall of Fame quarterback, won a Super Bowl, and now all of a sudden we're going to take Jameis Winston from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, throw him in there, and Taysom Hill, a gadget guy who I am a fan of, but a gadget guy, and all of a sudden we're going to go back to a Super Bowl. They're not going to win the division, and in fact, I think they're coming in third place in the division, and that's at best. I think I don't have any faith in the Falcons, but I think the Panthers are going to battle for that second place, and I think Tampa Bay's a shoo-in for number one. So Louisiana fans, y'all can hate me, but I'm just speaking the truth. I think it's going to be dark days for the Saints. I think we're going to go back to the days of Jeff Blake and Billy Joe Hobart, for a little while there before we really get something established. I think Sean Payton is better than obviously he's better than the coaches we had in that generation. So I think he's not going to let it lack. He's not going to be lax about it, and he's not going to let things linger for long in obscurity at quarterback. I think he's going to get somebody in there soon, but it's going to be a season or two of Saints just kind of watching the season go by and fingers crossed, and it's just not working out in the end. That's just the way it's happened. The things haven't worked out in the end the last last decade, honestly. But we had hope with Drew Brees, and people still have hope. But I think they're putting their hope in a gadget guy and Jameis Winston. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. What happened to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? How did they go from a franchise that couldn't make the playoffs to the Super Bowl winning franchise? Oh yeah, they got rid of Jameis Winston. All right, that's it. So. All right, so anyway, moving on. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are coming back well stacked. And I can't understand why the betting favorite would be the Kansas City Chiefs. You don't go to 3 Super Bowls in a row. It just doesn't happen. It's happened before, but we're talking about a once in a blue moon. I mean, if they think they're the Buffalo Bills of the 90s, that's not the case. And they won a Super Bowl. They got back. They lost a Super Bowl. They're not getting back. Patrick Mahomes doesn't even play well in a Super Bowl. And I think we're going to have another team, the likes of the Rams and the Falcons, where you get beat by Tom Brady and you just don't recover right away. It just doesn't happen. I don't know. Just losing in the Super Bowl, it does something to the psyche. You lose the biggest game. You fight so hard. You push down. You get there. You lose, and you lose badly in the Super Bowl. They didn't just get beat. They got their butts kicked. All right, so I don't think they're coming back. I think I'm looking at the Buffalo Bills, maybe even the Browns or the Ravens will get right back in the mix. But if everybody, I got Chiefs fans talking trash on me if I comment on anything. I try not to comment on anybody else's page, but occasionally on a sports page I'll throw in an opinion just for the heck of it. And I got Kansas City Chiefs fans coming at me, and y'all can be optimistic too, just like the Saints fans, but with even more of a point to be, because the team that you have, and you have a Super Bowl ring in the last couple of years. But if you think you're getting right back to the Super Bowl, I think somebody's going to punch you out of there. I don't think you're going to get back to face Tampa Bay or whoever wins in the NFC. All right? So, NFL draft. Big winners, big losers. Look, Chicago Bears have a lot going on right now in terms of optimism. They can be excited. They have 2 new quarterbacks. They have a capable quarterback and a possible future star at quarterback. So the Chicago Bears have a lot of optimism. I think more optimism than most teams, just based on the draft and the offseason. All right? The Browns did a lot. Buffalo Bills added to the mix. The Titans added to the mix. Carolina, added some. I mean, there's a lot of optimism coming from a lot of teams, which is normal. But honestly, with the exception of, as I said before, maybe the Saints, I think you have a lot of teams that can be optimistic. The New England Patriots have had a great offseason and had a really good draft. So they got some things to look forward to. But it's going to be an interesting NFL season. And the other big NFL topic, Tim Tebow. All right, I'll keep it short and sweet because this is a rundown. People are hating on Tim Tebow, calling it white privilege, calling it, just privilege, period, whether it's white privilege or privilege, period. And what has he done and why is he getting this chance? I feel like everybody's memory just goes out the window when this stuff happens. Carl Lewis, the track star, Olympic gold medalist from the 1980s, got a contract for the Dallas Cowboys, not based on anything football related, just because he was fast and athletic. People forget that. Now, was it white privilege with Carl Lewis? No, of course it wasn't. How about Vince Papali from the Disney's Invincible movie starring Mark Wahlberg? There's a guy who never even played college ball. He was playing in backyards and abandoned lots and things like that, and he gets a contract and actually had like a 4-year career in the NFL. They made a Disney movie about him. So the point of me bringing up these two, and there are numerous other examples. There's rugby players who have gone into football. There's lacrosse players. There's a lacrosse guy. I'm sorry, I don't know his name. I'm not up on lacrosse. There's talk about a lacrosse star crossing over right now. It happens all the time. So you have Tim Tebow, a guy who was a quarterback, who was an amazing quarterback in college, and he played in the NFL. He won a playoff game in a shocking upset against the Pittsburgh Steelers years back, and now he's transitioning over to another position. Is that possible? Well, hell, Julian Edelman was a quarterback. Julian Edelman is now a potential Hall of Famer and a former Super Bowl MVP, switching from a quarterback to a wide receiver. And there's nothing similar about those positions except you're both on offense. Period. That's it, all right? So you take these pieces from the people that I've mentioned, whether it be Carl Lewis, Julian Edelman, Vince Papali, and you put these together and you have what's going on with Tim Tebow right now. The guy's getting another chance because Urban Meyer loves him, period. And why shouldn't he give somebody a chance? This happens all the time. Look at Bill Belichick's got other Belichicks on his coaching staff, as well as others. The coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, one of the most famous coaches in the league, and all of a sudden his name escapes me. But he has family on his coaching staff. This happens all the time. So I don't understand why all of a sudden, because it's Tim Tebow, we're going to be upset. Tim Tebow is a polarizing player. And why is he polarizing? Because he's really good and he's a Christian. Oh my gosh. That's terrible. We have guys that beat their wives in the NFL and we can't have this outspoken Christian. I know, it's insane. That's the world we live in right now. All right, so I'm excited Tim Tebow's getting a shot. And look, I'm an LSU fan. He was a Florida Gator. He beat the crap out of us, all right? But I'm excited he's getting the start. He's a good guy. He's, by all estimates, he's a good guy. And he's getting another chance, and he's, in football terms, he's the older guy getting a chance, the underdog. I root for the underdog. I root for the older guy because I'm the older guy trying to make it into a sport. So, I'm rooting for you, Tim. I hope you do well at the tight end. It's an important position. Tight end ain't some throwaway position. I believe it was Bleacher Report that ranked it as the third most important offensive position in football. So you're going to have a battle on your hands. I don't know how you're going to do when you're squaring up against the defensive end over there, seeing if you can knock him on his butt while he's trying to knock you on your butt. But I'm rooting for you, Tim. All right. Some brief fight news. All right. A few weeks ago, Canelo Alvarez broke the face of Billy Joe Saunders, and the controversy about this was Billy Joe. Did he quit? Is he a quitter, or was it his corner? Is this understandable? Should we fault him for it? If you're going to fault him for it, the only thing you should fault him for is not that the fight had to stop, whether he quit, whether his coach, manager, trainer got him out of it or not. It's because he talked so much trash, and he talked trash about other guys who had fights stopped because of similar injuries or the same injury. So because of that, we can give Billy Joe Saunders a little bit of crap, but just a little bit. I mean, the guy sitting on his couch that has never had a fight in his life, never laced up a pair of gloves, never done an athletic contest in his life, dogging Billy Joe Saunders, a tough, legit, amazing fighter and champion. That's pretty pathetic, but we can give him a little bit of crap because all the trash he talked. Canelo Alvarez, is anybody beating him at 168? Talk about a Charlo or something like that. You're going to have to talk about a slick boxer like that, because the guy is just going through to the division like nobody I've seen since Joe Calzaghe. I mean, it's amazing. And I'm not going to talk about, past first the president. What Joe Calzaghe do with him? He'd probably win. But like he always did. But Canelo Alvarez is unbelievable right now. He's a legit star. He's unbelievable. I think there's going to be more big things to come from him. I can't wait to see his next fight and his next opponent. All right? Let's see. Other boxing news. Last night, Josh Taylor became the undisputed light welterweight, I don't like the term junior, light welterweight champion of the world when he beat Jose Ramirez in an epic battle. The first two fights of last night's main card, were really uninteresting to me. I'll be honest, I wasn't paying attention. Then I fast forward some of the rounds. But the main event paid off. Taylor Ramirez, I'm a fan of both these guys, and Taylor just outclassed him. He outboxed him, and then he landed the power when it counted and put him on his butt a couple times. So, I mean, Josh Taylor showed a class afterwards, apologizing for all the pre-fight build-up and the trash talking and things like that. I'm a Josh Taylor fan. I like him. I can't wait to see this guy move on in the division. Undefeated, amazing, undisputed champion. Is Crawford in his future? That's what he wants. I hope he has a few more fights at 140. He enjoys being champion, has some title defenses. And then if he wants to move up to Crawford, I think that's great. I think Crawford's got a hell of a fight on his hand. I'll be anxious to see that when it happens. Other fighting news, Manny Pacquiao's next fight against Errol Spence. People can dog Manny all they want. He's too old. He's not good enough, etc., etc. Remember, Manny Pacquiao has done this dance before. He did this the last time against Keith Thurman, where everybody said he was too old. Everybody said he was washed up. Everybody said it couldn't happen. And what happened? He beat the snot out of Keith Thurman. Is he going to do that with Errol Spence? I don't know. I don't think so. But is he going to win? He's got a chance. He's a live underdog here. He's a live dog. All right? I'm not going to make any jokes about the old joke about him eating his dog. But he's a live dog here, and I think Manny Pacquiao is going to show us a hell of a fight. Win or lose, I think it's going to be entertaining as hell. I'm happy to see Manny do it. Once again, rooting for the old guys. Got to root for Manny Pacquiao. Nothing to dislike about Errol Spence. Hell of a talent, hell of a guy from what I've seen. But I'm rooting for Manny Pacquiao in this one. And then, Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury and Wilder are going to have, Deontay Wilder are going to have their third fight. Honestly, I think it's going to be a lot like the second fight. All right, not much to say about that. Tyson Fury's better. He's bigger. He's better. And I think it's going to be the same thing. I mean, you can not wear the big costume that weighs you down, Deontay Wilder. You can leave all the excuses at the back, man. I think you're going down in this one. You're going down faster and harder than you did the first time in the second fight. And then I think it's going to be Tyson Fury and AJ, and all of a sudden people are talking this massive trash about Tyson Fury against AJ. Remember this, man. I don't think the AJ that came in that got knocked out in his only loss is not the AJ we're going to see. I think we're going to see as skilled and impressive of fighters we saw in his fight with Vladimir Klitschko. But at the same time, why would you doubt Tyson Fury? What has he ever done to doubt you? The guy beat Vladimir Klitschko, also beat him more dominantly, and he destroyed Deontay Wilder. What has AJ done which all of a sudden is supposed to make Tyson Fury the underdog? All right? So I think we got a hell of a fight on our hand. I'm a fan of both guys. Either way, I'll be excited. But I think Tyson Fury is going to take that one too. I think Deontay Wilder. I think he can blast out of there in another exciting fight like they had in the second one. AJ, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be that exciting. I think he's going to play a little bit smarter like he did Vladimir Klitschko. But I think he's going to take that one too and still become the undisputed heavyweight champion. He's already a heavyweight champion. He's going to become the undisputed heavyweight champ. Kiddo, you got anything to add to it? I'm running long here. You got anything to add to it?
No.
All right. Okay, so I guess we got to go. We got to go to Snowball, right?
Yes.
All right, so that's it for this rundown. We'll be back sooner rather than later since we're done with soccer. She's a champion. Her soccer team that I coach, we won the championship yesterday. That's some other sports news I should have thrown in there. We won against a team that we had beat. We beat them 2-1 yesterday. Epic clash. She played her best game ever. Went and got an LOL after because she was so excited. Fantastic. So that was some other soccer news. We're the soccer champions in the 9 to 12-year-olds. So she took a header to the face and jumped right back up. That's a tough little girl right there. Dynamite Dempsey.
It felt like I broke my nose.
Felt like she broke her nose. I know what that's like. See this big schnoz right here. But she jumped right back up like nothing. All right. So that's our news, and we'll be back with a podcast sooner rather than later, like I said, since now we're going to have a little bit more free time in between the play dates and such, right? All right. She also got out of school with the honor roll, 1 point away from banner roll, so technically banner roll. But anyway, all right. Y'all have a good week, and we'll be back as soon as we feel like it. All right. Peace out.